Welcome to Breakup Cheater. Let's begin with today's story. I wish I could tell you there was a clear moment when it all began to fall apart. That one big fight. That one line crossed. But it wasn't like that. It was quiet, gradual, like a faucet left dripping, unnoticed until the floor is soaked. Her name was Maya. We were married for 9 years. When I first met her, she was the kind of woman who seemed to glow in every room. Loud in the best way. Her laugh turned heads in cafes, in bookstores, even waiting in line at the DMV. There was this electricity in her, she pulled people in like gravity. I used to feel lucky just to be in her orbit. But somewhere along the way, I stopped being a part of her world. Became more like background. The person she walked past while scrolling through her phone. The one she replied to with single-word answers. Fine. Busy. Later. I'd ask how her day went. She'd murmur good, eyes never leaving the screen. I'd suggest a weekend getaway, and she'd blink at me like I asked her to move a mountain. Too much going on, she'd say. Maybe another time. Another time never came. There was no explosion, just distance. No slammed doors, just the slow fade of contact. Hugs that ended too soon. Kisses that felt like habits, not choices. A silence that grew so loud, I couldn't ignore it anymore. One night after she came home late again, I finally said it. I miss you. She looked at me almost surprised. I'm right here, she said. But she wasn't. Not really. No, I replied. You haven't been here in a long time. She sighed and walked into the bedroom. No apology. No fight. Just silence. That night I sat alone in the living room, staring at the TV, not watching a second of it. The next day Maya mentioned a house party. It's at Lila's place, she said. You can come if you want. You can come if you want. Like I was an optional accessory. Still I went. Maybe I was still hoping. The place was modern, all glass and sharp lines. Maya looked stunning. Sleek black jumpsuit, bold earrings, her hair pinned up like she belonged on a magazine cover. I told her she looked beautiful. She said, thanks. Flat. Like a waiter acknowledging a correct order. The second we stepped in, she lit up. Laughing. Hugging. Floating across the room like a performer. But not once did she introduce me. Not to her coworkers, not to old friends. Nothing. At one point a guy looked over. Maya casually said, "Oh, this is Drew," and turned right back to her story before I could speak. I made my way to the kitchen. Mixed myself a drink I didn't even want. Nodded at a few strangers. Stood by a counter like I was wallpaper. And then I saw Tess. Maya's college friend. I'd met her maybe twice. She walked in late, tossed Maya a quick hug and caught my eye by the drinks. She tilted her head. You good? I smiled weakly. Just soaking it all in. She raised an eyebrow. Right. Because standing alone at a party while your wife acts single is peak Saturday night fun, right? I laughed, dry but real. She winced. Sorry. That was blunt. No, it's fine. Then she reached for my hand. Come on. What? Dance with me. I hesitated. I didn't. She took the drink out of my hand and pulled me into the open space near the speakers. I don't dance, I muttered. You do now. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't flirty. She just moved freely like she didn't care who was watching. Like I wasn't some ghost in the corner anymore. I danced. 2 songs. Maybe 3. For a few minutes, I wasn't invisible. I was seen. And I didn't realize how much I needed that. I glanced across the room. That's when I saw Maya. Her eyes on me. Smile frozen. Butching. Then, like a light switch, she turned back to her conversation. Tess and I didn't exchange secrets or confessions. Just numbers. She squeezed my hand. Don't go back to the wall, she said. And then she was gone. A week later was our anniversary. 9 years. I remembered before my alarm even went off. Maya didn't. No card. No message. No mention. Still I cooked dinner. Set the table. Lit a candle. I wanted to believe there was still something there. She came home late. No apology. No flowers. Nothing. I nodded toward the table. You forgot something. She looked at it. Oh, right. Work's been insane. It slipped my mind. It's our anniversary, Maya. She opened the fridge. I'm tired. Can we not do this tonight? It's not a big deal, I said quietly. That's the problem. That night I slept on the couch. Not because of a fight. Because I didn't want to share a bed with someone who felt like a stranger. The next morning she acted like nothing happened. But something had shifted. Me. I stopped chasing. Not to punish her. Just stop. No more asking when she'd be home. No more planning dates she'd cancel. I made my own coffee. Took long walks before work. Started lifting weights again. Rediscovered an old love, web design. Freelance work gave me structure when everything else was unraveling. Tess messaged once. Still the best dance I've had this month. I replied. Still not sure what that was. She answered. That was someone seeing you. Maya started staying out later. Work events, she said. I didn't ask. And that confused her. You don't even care where I go. If you wanted me to know, you'd tell me. She didn't reply. Couple weeks later she mentioned a wedding. Carla's getting married next weekend. You can come if you want. That phrase again. The day came. She got dressed like we were still newlyweds. Green dress. Gold heels. I wore a navy jacket. Crisp shirt. Silent car ride. She arrived and performed. Laughing, hugging, posing. I found a beer and a corner. That's when I heard. Deja vu. It was Tess. Simple black dress. Loose braid. She sat beside me like she belonged there. You okay? She asked. I'm not pretending, I said. She smiled. You look different. Steadier. I stopped hoping she'd notice. We sat there in stillness. And then Maya appeared. I've been looking for you, she said. No, you haven't. She froze. I thought you'd mingle. I'm not hiding, I said. I'm just not performing. Tess stood. I'll give you space. No, I said. We're good. Maya's eyes narrowed. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm not chasing someone who checked out years ago. The following Thursday Maya came home late again. Past 11. Walked right past me. Hey, I said. She paused. Hi. We need to talk. She sighed. Now. Yes. Now. Understood. This isn't about Tess. It's not about a dance. It's about the 1,000 little ways you stopped showing up. She scoffed. So what? You're leaving. I already did, I said. Emotionally. Weeks ago. I picked up the bag I had already packed. Where are you even going? She asked. A small rental. Just across town. For now. You're being impulsive. No, I said. I'm finally being honest. And then I left. No drama. No yelling. Just gone. The first night alone was quiet. Not sad. Just still. I made eggs the next morning. Walked the block. Caught up on emails. Maya called once. I didn't answer. She texted, "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. The next week I filed for divorce. Quietly. Only. The firmest step I've taken in years. Tess messaged. You looked free when you walked away. I didn't reply. But I smiled. It was never about Tess. It wasn't a scandal. It wasn't revenge. It was about someone seeing me, really seeing me, and reminding me I was still there. And once I saw that, I couldn't go back to being invisible. Thanks for listening to Breakup Cheater. Until next time, take care of your truth.